friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with episode 6 in our page series, our page ideas series. And today we're actually going to be working with a new Christmas kits. There are 2 kits that I'm using, or actually 3, because one is a background paper for the backs of all of my papers. It's a burlap digital, but all that will be linked in the description box below and or over on my blog. So let's talk about the new kit. I wanted to give you a preview of the kit first before we get going. Again, there are 2 kits and then one that I'm using for background. So this is the ephemera in one of the kits, and then I backed it with this burlap paper because there's a lot of burlap in the kit, which I really, really love. These are all turned over for some reason. Beautiful, beautiful bits. And the 2 kits go together very well. They're not exactly the same tones, but they've got fantastic ephemera. I mean, look at that. I have a lot of fussy cutting to do though. I like to cut them up and get them into little pieces before I start really diving in to fussy cutting, but there's a lot of great stuff here. Lots of journal cards, which I really appreciate. I don't believe there's a lot of tags in this kit that are a larger size, but that doesn't matter to me because I can just shrink down pages and make tags out of the actual journal pages. So let's get that out of my way. Where am I going to put it? I'll just set it over there on my other cutter. And then this is the, these are the background papers, which I absolutely love. So I'm just going to give you a quick flip through here. You might see duplicates because I printed a couple copies of the ones I really love. So these ones are a little bit odd because that's a full page, but you can see it sideways, but I figure it's okay for some things. This is not my favorite. I'm not a huge fan of poinsettias, and it's really, yeah, not very pretty in my opinion. This one's upside down. This one, I love the lights on the burlap. Absolutely, so inviting. So again, I've got 2 of those. So those are some background papers. What did I do with my paper clip? There it is. Background papers. And these are some of the digitals in one of the kits that I've already shrunk down because I know I'm going to need them for tags and larger journal cards. So those are 2 pieces of this beautiful, beautiful couple of kits. And then these are the journal pages. Basically, they call them half pages. So I'll flip through these. These are, you can tell the difference between the 2 kits because one has a lot more orangish tones like this from the other one, but I'll let you guys decide that. I'm trying to not flip this stuff around. So this is one of the kits is different because you can see also the border around it is different than the other one, but I like them equally. I love the watercolor look of this one. You know, I'm a big fan of watercolor. Absolutely love this one. This one's gorgeous as well. Looks like a duplicate. But yeah, super, super fun. I love that Santa. I'm not a big Santa fan. I believe in the concept of Santa and the giving spirit that it was originally, the original story was. But I do like the more vintage look. And I don't like traditional Christmas colors, especially when I'm creating. So I love having options like this. I love, love, love this one. So you can see this is all one kit, and you're going to see the difference when I flip this here. I think there might be some similar images between the 2, and I love this one. Really, really beautiful. And there we go. So that's the end of that one. And then this, you can see by looking here that this is a different kit. It's heavy. So look at those images. Love, love, love every one of these. So gorgeous. And this is another one. Oh, this is from that other kit. So it's another one of the full pagers. I'm not a big fan of. This one's a little bit better because at least you can see it's not just like a mirage of the image. It's a little bit bolder, so that's more appealing. I didn't realize I had these mixed in. I thought I had had them separated. So these are more of the half pages of the first kit. Again, flipping back to the other kit. So beautiful. So beautiful. What happened here? I've already been through these. What the what? Maybe one kit had more to offer than the other kit. I think maybe that's the case. But you can get the drift. It's an absolutely beautiful selection of papers. I'm really thrilled to be working with them. So let's talk about the project for today. We're only going to be making one project because I'm working on keeping my videos a little bit shorter. And basically, I've watched this on a couple of channels. Most recently, I refreshed my memory by watching DJ over at Hither and Yon Studios, and then I also saw it by Corey Dahman. So I most recently watched it on DJ's channel, so I'm going to link her video. So basically, this is your journal page. Again, this is our template, and you take your other page and you decide how many pockets you want to have on this side and then this side before this was glued down, that'll make more sense in a minute. And then you can decide if you want your pockets to be open at the top or the side or whatever suits you. But these are the dimensions for the template, okay? We may be altering this in the project we're doing today because I wasn't super thrilled with how this turned out on the template. But we've got 3.5. This pocket is 3.5 by 3.5 by 3.25. This one's a little bit taller because I was just making a template 3 7/8 by 3.25. You could make it whatever size you want. This is 3.5 inches wide by 8.25 inches tall. And then these pockets are various sizes as well. We'll try to be a little bit more uniform when we do this project. 2 7/8 by 3 7/16 and 3 3/4 by 3 7/16. So that's what we're going to be making. I love it. And then in today's video, I want to also come in and put a belly band on this page because it just feels really like it's missing something. And so I think I'm going to put a belly band on the one we're making today. This was my actual prototype, so that's what I'm calling my template. And this is the prototype. So again, she opens, this is the journal page. These papers are from 49 Dragonflies. They're actually journal pages from her calendar kits or planner kits. So I love this. I picked this out to use for the boho journal because I like the vibrant addition of color in these images. So on this one we have 2 pockets here. The only thing I don't like about this is because it's butting up against that this is the signature side, right? It's going to be sewn in. You can't really put much on there. When you look at this side, if I had done that opposite, I would have room to extend my pocket. So I'm going to try to remember to do that and put these ones sideways rather than opening at the top. So, and then this is the journal page. Again, I like to fully utilize the space, so I would also probably put a belly band. But that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm hoping that I have not forgotten how to do this because it's been a few days since I did the template and the prototype. So I'm going to try to move my camera up because I want you guys to see as best you can what I'm doing. I'm going to bring this back down again so that we can get an idea of our dimensions. So these are the papers I picked for the base. So I'm thinking I want this one to be the one that we're going to be cutting the pockets out of, and I want this to be the base. I did print 2 of these just in case I make a mess, because that does happen sometimes. So this is going to be our journal page. So let's start with that. Sorry for the flipping and flopping, and then I just love that paper. Love it! So this is our journal page. So I'm just folding it in half. Okay, now as I've mentioned before, because I have to cut the borders off of my digitals, I never end up with the same size. So I always like to cut them down, make sure that they are actually 8 1/4 by 5 1/4. So that's 8 1/4, and this is 5 3/8. So we're going to cut that down to a 5 1/4, just so that we know we're not making these pages bigger than they should be. So I'm just lining that up to the 5 1/4 and just gonna chop that off. If I can find the line, oh my goodness. It's not that hard, Cara-Renee. It's just basically taking off, you know, a bit. So like, I don't know, probably 1/8 of an inch is what the difference is. I need to change this blade. It is not cutting well at all. I wonder if I have one in my drawer. Let me check really quick. There we go. One's all nasty too. Okay, let's pop that back in there. There we go. Now we're golden. So I'm going to set this aside. I'll probably be bringing it back and forth. So I hope that doesn't bother you all. So then we're going to take this one and we're going to score it into thirds. I need this right away. Goodness gracious. So we're going to do 3 1/2, 3 1/2, and then the last portion is going to be not quite that measurement, just because, again, the size that my papers end up being. So I'm going to go ahead and I want this to be, I guess it doesn't really matter. I want to think about this because I want to make sure that my pockets don't become something I don't want them to be. So we're just going to have to wing it and see what happens here, guys. I'm not sure what I'm doing. So let's go ahead with 3 1/2. And again, we're scoring, not cutting. And then let me open this up and then we'll pop that out to 7 inches. Okay. Because I wasn't working in my prototype with a directional paper, so that's why I was hesitating there a moment, but I'm hoping that it's going to be okay. So then let's go ahead and just score this. I think it's going to be fine. Look at that. Oh, this is early for me to be creating Christmas. I'm going to tell you right now. I am a purist in that regard. I do not like to do Christmas things before Thanksgiving, but I also don't want to be behind the 8 ball this year with my creating. So basically what you have here is this can be your, this can go on your journal page on one side. Then that means that's going to be showing. So, or we can go on our journal page like this, which I'm feeling very strongly about. Put that there. Oh, yummy. And then this is going to have pockets. So we're going to have pockets on this one. I'm just going to make a mark here. I can erase that. So we're going to have 2 pockets. And then just because I want you to understand the concept, and then that's wrapped around the page. So then this is pockets also. Okay. But it's going to go on the other side. So it's going to go like that. Okay. So then we're going to have 3 pockets on this panel. So 3 on this one, 3 pockets, and 2. So now you can decide what you want to, how big you want your pockets to be. And I didn't want my top of my pockets to be too close to the top if that's where my opening was, which it's fine here, but when you've got the pockets opening at the top, you've got things sticking out of the journal page, which is not a problem. You just want to plan for that in this case. So I'm going to just try to find my center here and just see what I end up with here. So we got 10 and 2. So we've got, math is hard. We're about right there for center. Okay. So I think it's going to be hard to see this. So this is that's my center. Now I also like to create a space between the 2 pockets. So I'm going to go 1/4 of an inch on either side. Okay. I'm hoping you guys can see this okay. 1/4 inch on either side. So let me show you my marks. So this was the halfway point. This is 1/4 to the side, 1/4 to that side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and ink up these main edges just so that we can see that line when we do our cutting. Again, this is going to be tricky with this dark paper. So I might have to turn it over. I really don't want to do that because then I start flipping flopping and I get really confused. So I'm hoping that that's going to help me. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So we're going to go ahead and bring the cutter back over, and we're going to very carefully cut along those lines on either side of that center. We're going to cut that little portion out. I hope that's making some modicum of sense. So I'm going only to this inked line. So I'm just going to get my head hopefully not in camera because I want to get right over that, and then lift that up and then bop it over that 1/2 inch now, because it's 1/4 on either side of the center. You know, and just like everything, guys, perfection is not at play. I am just having fun and being happy with that. Now, this is the one where we're going to have the pockets to the side, so I don't mind that that's all the way even with the top of the page. So I'm just going to grab my fussy cut scissors and snip that off. Okay, let's see. Let's try to get it on this side of it so I can get that meaty part out. There we go. So those are our pockets. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. That is, but it's too wide. So that's the other thing you'll have to keep in mind. So I can tell that I'm too far. Let me ink this edge so that you guys can see that our pockets are too wide. So this is just a game of play. You know, you're going to have to figure out based on how you fold your paper, where those pockets, so see how that's too wide. So we need to cut that off. So I'm just going to stick this right in here. That's probably risky. So let's see what that distance is, because I don't want to cut everything else in half. So let me see. It is 1/4 inch. So we're going to take a little bit of little more than 1/4 inch off of both these edges. You can just put that right there. Okay. And you'll be able to, you just really want to hold this as well. Sorry for being off. I'm taking a little bit more than that because I'm taking just slightly over 1/4 inch. Okay, just slice that off. Okay. So let me get my circle punch. We'll do some little divots. Again, I don't worry about perfection. I am going to cut them on. I'm going to punch them on this side though, just so that the imagery on this is a little bit easier to see where I'm at. There and there. So again, I hope that you guys will check out DJ over at Hither and Yon. I know that I had one person reply in the comments that she did go over and watch her video and subscribe to her channel. So I really appreciate that. I love that you guys are doing that. So I think I just might have messed it up. Where'd my paper go? Maybe not. It's look, it's got a lot of flips and flops, right? So this was going in like that. Nope. Oh, which way? How did I have that? Did I have it like that? I think so. Does not really matter. So then it's this, and then this is going to actually flip out. So we're good. So that's going to be awesome. So when it's in the signature, we just want to make sure we got a good eye on this. So that when it's in the signature, oh my goodness, come on, Renee. I'm only going to that fold because that's where our fold is. So you have to think about this. So this is my signature page. Is everything going to work okay? Yes, it is, because this is the fold. Which I think I meant to do that opposite of that, but I did not do that, which is okay. We will work with it. So the next thing that we want to do is do our pockets on the other side. Okay. Need to ink that up. It's bothering me. There we go. A little more. Okay. So now we have pockets on this side. So these ones are opening this way. So these ones are going to open to the top. So I'm going to have, I'm not even going to measure. I'm just going to estimate where I want them. So the bottom one is okay to go all the way to the bottom. So I'm just going to make a mark about just for those of you who are interested in measurements, I'm going to go up, let's go up 3 inches. Okay. And then again, we want that gap in between. So then I'm going to go 3.5 so that I can take that 1/2 inch out in between. And then we'll go 3.5 from that second mark. And I'll review this with you here in a second. This was 3.5, right? No, that was 3. So we're going to go 3 from here. Okay, there we go. So again, 3 from the bottom, 1/2 inch for the piece that we're taking out of here, and then another 3 inch. So now we can stick this back in our little cutter and cut those up. I hope this is making sense. I feel not super clear, and I don't like when that happens, but I am, yeah, recovering from being sick. So it takes a while for the brain to get going again. I'm going to ink this edge. I forgot to do that. I want you guys to be able to see this from your view. So I'm just going to get that all grungied up there so that you guys can see what I'm inking, what I'm cutting to. So my first line is 3 inches is right here. And again, I'm holding the whole paper. I don't want any of this to shift. And I'm just going to cut all the way up to the fold. I will be making another one for the boho journal, I believe, or for my reference journal probably. I think I am done making ephemera right now for all the journals I've been working on, because I need to evaluate how much more I need, because I've just been creating away and I always end up with too much ephemera. So I'm going to slow down and do that, which means I need to have something else to be working on camera, but I haven't decided what that is yet. So that is our bit that we're going to notch out, but we're just going to stay with this and go ahead and cut our other line. Okay, so it's here. So again, it's 3 inches. Sorry, it's 3 inches from this. Let me pull that up. So it's 3 inches from here to here. And there are a lot of there's a lot of variety that you guys can do with this. Lots of variation. You can be very creative. Okay, there we go. So I think we're done with the cutter. So let me get that out of the way for the moment, at least. So let's go ahead and snip this baby off. It's always better to do it one way versus the other for some reason. It's a little bit tricky to get in here. Let me bend that way. Let's see if I can get my scissors in here. Oh my goodness. Sorry for the flipping and flopping. I can't figure out how to do it. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. And I'm feeling like the scissors are too small for this bigger piece, so we're gonna get the big mamas out, and I'm going to cut right off that flap. Okay. Don't cut anything else, Cara-Renee. I'm holding that other flap down so that I don't accidentally cut it. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to take a moment. Oh, let's cut our thumb notches on this one. Look at that. It's so simple, guys. And again, so much variety for how you would lay this out. You could do 3 pockets. I think in DJ's video, she did 4 pockets, actually. She did really narrow pockets, which I'm not a big fan of, but you do you. So I'm going to go ahead and rub that out and rub that other one out so we don't see that 3. Okay. And then we're going to cut our thumb notches in this, and then I'm going to ink up, and then we'll be able to move on. So just a little notch there, and a little notch there. I don't worry about perfection. Are they perfectly lined up? I don't know. So give me a sec, and I'll be right back. Okay. So there we go. So let's bring our journal page back over. And the other thing you could do is kind of experiment with, like, what would it look like if you did this? So if you had it go here, this way, then our other pockets would flip the opposite direction though. So that I'm not liking, but you could flip it this way. Then you'd have, oh, that is actually kind of pretty, but I don't want to cover up that. So you do have to think about that as you're planning this, that you're not covering up an important part of your image that you don't want to. So it would be at this point that you would round corners if you wanted to round corners like I did on my prototype. So this is what I did on this one. You don't have to do that, but you would want to do that at this point. Okay, so I am going to turn this because I need to be able to get to, well, I guess I'm gluing bottom and side, so never mind, never you mind. Okay, there we go. Looks like we're good and even, Steven. So I'm going to just flip this out, holding this in place, and I'm going to put glue on the side and the bottom of each of these pockets. Hope you guys are doing okay. I'm on the other side of a double sickness. I had some kind of flu, and for days I've been living with a headache and fever and chills, etc. And then I turned around. I think I ate something bad and had some kind of stomach thing going on. I was up all night one night. Yeah, so it's been a rough go. Okay, so I'm going to flip that over, and then these pockets are going to go this way. Now again, I want to think about this. How is this going to work? Oh, that's not going to work. Ugh, what did you do? See that how that's not going to work, because now that's going to fold into it. Hang on. Okay, so this is the side of the journal page. That's our first pockets. That's going to fold back. Oh man, that did not work out as I planned. Shoot. But it is going to flip out. Oh, it's going to go like that. It is. I'm sorry, guys. I'm thinking about it functionally. It's going to flip out, right? Well, it's not going to work. I can't put any tabs there. So that's okay. This is just my best shot at it. So I should have put those at the top too. I don't know what I was thinking. So, bummer. Okay, so this one, we're going to just have to slide something in there. It's okay. So I'm just going to open these up and glue here, 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 and here. I've told you guys I don't do backwards, upside down, flips and flops very well. It just really messes with my head. So hopefully you guys will have more success at this endeavor than I have on this particular paper. Again, if it wasn't, weren't dealing with, well, even if it's not directional, it's still a problem, because you have to think about how everything's going to open and impact everything else. So again, that is our journal page. So that folds in like that, which is what I wanted, right? So it opens up like this. These flip out, right? Which is great. This is, well, they won't flip out. Goodness, I just opened that. You know, the other thing we could do to solve this one is undo that. Undo that. What we could do is leave this open. This is not going how I planned. Okay. Leave it open and make those pockets flip out. I'm not going to do that for the sake of this tutorial. So I apologize. I opened these up and now I need to re-glue them. Foggy brain. I hope that you'll forgive me. Really trying to keep the momentum of my flow here on the channel. I've been back to a more regular creative schedule. So, and it's suiting me well. Our elections are over, and so I'm able to refocus on things in the studio a little bit more. Okay, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Just get that in place. So that is that. So that closes like that. This is our journal. This is where it's going to be sewn in. It's going to open like this. We've got 2 pockets. Could put a belly band there as well. Might do that. And then when you flip this page over, this has the opportunity to flip, which I love. I actually love that, even though that is not exactly what I intended as far as my openings. So why is that not staying? Oh, it's the back page. So we're going to put a belly band on here. So I think I want to use, oh, you know what? I think I want some vellum because I don't want to cover up that image. So if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to go ahead and print, I think this page on vellum so that we can see through it. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got this image printed out on vellum. I am using my really heavyweight vellum because I like that you can see more through it. That's not the side we're working on. We're working over here. See how you can still see the stars through it. So I just need to trim off my edges here. But I'm loving this heavyweight paper. I feel like it's a lot better for journals, you know, for signatures and stuff. So as I prepared my signatures for the Romance in Paris journal recently, I did use this heavyweight vellum, and I am really, really glad about that. So I'm just going to trim those off. Sorry for the befuddling there. I'd love to see what you guys create with this. I know a lot of you guys are trying these projects. I would love to hear how you kind of problem solve through the directional issues that I run into in terms of kind of imagining how everything's going to lay out. So on this one, I just want mostly this part. So I'm just going to cut probably, I'm going to make my belly band about 2.5. I'm going to make it 3. No, I'm going to make it 2.5. 2 3/4 inches. 2 3/4. That's the my final answer. Of course, you could make it whatever you want. Goodness gracious. Okay. And I went ahead and cut another one as well for the other side. So I wanted to see the words. So we'll be, and that's just on regular paper. So this is going to go here. So we do need to ink it up. And it's a lot easier to ink this vellum because you actually, it has some substance to it. And I'll try to remember to link it. If I forget, please just let me know, holler at me kindly. But if you can tell, see how it's not as floppy? It's very strong, like really strong. So we're going to put that here, and I'm just aiming for the middle. I'm going to ink this edge here so that we can see it together a little bit better. But I'm loving the burlap look on this as well. I think it's really, really pretty. So that's going to go there. So I'm just, again, aiming for the middle between these two sides. So I'm going to use my Barely Arts, which is great for vellum, in case you're wondering. It works better than art glitter glue. I don't find that I have to rub it out or spread it out. So again, just aiming for the center. Just going to make it touch there, and then I can go upwards from there. And hopefully we cut it correctly. Maybe not. Can always shave it off if I need to. Looks like I'm a little high. Probably just my cutting skills. But that's okay. We'll let that. Oh no, it's just exactly perfect. Look at that. Perfecto! Okay, so that's that. So let's go ahead and imagine this again. So this is our journal page. So now we want to open it this way, and we're going to put our other one here. Actually, I think I might want maybe I want that. Maybe I want the vellum. Look at how cool that would be with that light shining out. But I don't want to do that. I don't want that. I think I'm going to stick with what I planned, because it's got some of the features of this paper, which I thought was a lot better. So I'm going to ink this up as well. I'm thinking about going off course a little bit and creating some more shabby stuff. I want to do some layered pockets that I saw on, I think it was Rose over at Rose Hill Paper, or not Rose, Heather at Rose Hill Paper recently. So I think I would like to give that a try with some French stuff and some lighter weight paper. Do me some tearing instead of, you know, instead of cutting everything. So sometimes I get in the mood for that, but we'll see. I've got so many ideas. Like right now, I've got so many ideas, but because I create with a theme, I do need to I need to think about like what kind of journals am I going to put that in. I don't just usually create ephemera just for the sake of it. I always create with a purpose. So in terms of a specific purpose. So just putting that glue on the top and the bottom and placing this. We're going to cover our lights a little bit, but that's okay. We can tell it's there. Okay. There we go. Boom. That's off too. What the what? I'll have to even that edge up. That was not a good straight cut. Oh, maybe we can move it. I hope then we're uneven on the bottom. That's okay. Let me just trim that off. Just a smidge too long. Now I can't get my scissors in there. I'll be decorating these off camera, because I don't have all my ephemera cut out. But I do have journal cards and such to go inside. So I thought, now I'm going to have to cut more because now I have 2 belly bands instead of 1. But let me go ahead and slice these all in half. I just wanted to show you they are the half pages. These ones are shrunk to this one's shrunk to 70%. These ones are shrunk to, I believe, 85%. So let me just take a moment and cut these in half. I was also thinking about playing around with Ruby and Pearls, some of her Christmas digitals that I purchased last year that I never really got my hands into. Might be fun to do like a flip-flop journal, a Christmas flip-flop. So I'm thinking about that. So that's actually what I was more thinking about than doing anything else. Now I'm gonna, because we're getting a little long on the video, I'm just gonna stick some things in here. I will come back and put whale tail punches on them, but oh my goodness, are these absolutely delicious. I think I want that one on the top like that, and then we'll put the other 2 on this side. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, sorry. Ooh. Okay, and we've got 2 for this one as well. And then I want, I have plenty because I have 3 in each one. So we'll put this, I want this one here. Those socks that are smaller. Flip it back over and put that one in there. Oh my goodness. And it's loaded, you guys. It's loaded. So the other thing that I have is these small cards that came in the kit. So they are going to go in these pockets. We'll have to cut them down for the other pockets. So see how that's barely going in there. So I think I'll use more of these than I have here actually. Let's put a person in here. Beautiful girl peeking up. Oh, let's switch them. Let's put her right there. Except still cutting off quite a bit of her. Her little eyes are just going to be peeking out, which is kind of cute. And this one down here. Okay. And I don't mind that that's sticking up onto that pocket. That was kind of the idea. So let's flip it over and see how we're going to make these work, because I'm going to have to cut them down to fit. So bummed about that, but they need to be cut this way. So, man, I'm bummed about that. I think I'm going to work on that off camera, but basically the idea is they would slide in here, right? But they're way too tall, so I will have to figure that out. But I think you get the idea of it. I hope it wasn't too confusing with all of my meandering around and my indecisiveness. So thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.